Welcome back to Chaos Corner. It's your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy. And I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this. Coming to you on Memorial Day, perhaps one of the most important days of the year on the calendar, and it should be one of the most important days, not just today, but every day, in honor of our veterans who have served this country in all military branches across the globe, currently, right now, and our veterans. That's really what it's all about. It's about giving back. And without them, we wouldn't be here to listen to and perform and do what it is that we do and live our freedoms, although at any moment, every day, they're trying to take our freedoms back. So let's get up and stand up and let's roll and show support in honor of all those who have fought for us. Because someday, you never know. And as we do through life, you have to stand up and fight for yourself. And be proud to be who you are. Identify with who you are and where you come from and what kind of person that you are. And then, of course, you acknowledge others and treat them with respect and how you want to be treated. And speaking of respect, I say it every time in these days here on Chaos Corner, the podcast. In order to get respect, you have to start with respecting yourself. Once you do that, you open other people's minds to respecting you. That's the catchphrase. That's the mantra. That is what would you like to say, the mission statement here on Chaos Corner. So thanks for being here. I hope you threw something out on the barbecue, maybe some burgers, some dogs, some salads, some vegetables, some fruits, maybe your favorite ice cold cocktail or beverage. Get a little exercise. That's what it's all about. Staying close to your family and friends. Well, I certainly did the same. So let's delve right into it. AEW, Double or Nothing. Here's the review. Fans, you're going to want to kick back and relax. Here at Guardian of Chaos on the YouTube channel. Follow me on all other social media platforms, and you know what they are. In real time, on Twitter, I covered it all last night. It's at Big Daddy GOC, the Guardian of Chaos. On Instagram, it's the Guardian of Chaos. On Facebook, there's 2 accounts. That's right, there's 2. J Brony, that's right, J Brony, and Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian. Also on Gitter, Gab, Truth Social, Rumble. I cover it all in the IWC because it's me. It's the GOC. And that's why we're here feeling festive. It's beautiful outside in the greater tri-state, northeast New England area, that whole sphere right there. So get out and enjoy it and let your feet touch the grass and look up into the sky. And as I said earlier on my soapbox, stay close to your family and friends. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit emotional today because it is Veterans Day. For my family and friends and folks out there that watch and the people here on the channel. But what we're really here to get into, and I said I would be back, it was a long day yesterday. It was a long day Saturday for WWE House of Champions and all the different shows that I moderate for. And then, of course, last night with Double or Nothing and then the moderating afterwards. But we're here to lay it down, break it down our style. One man, unique, unedited, raw dog here from the GOC. Here's your results from the nearly 11 or 12,000 that was reported there at the T-Mobile Arena. There in Las Vegas or Paradise, Nevada, maybe, if I'm stand corrected. Today is actually May 29th, 2023, Memorial Day, according to whatever calendar it is that you follow. So here's the results and review. Again, attendance is about 11 or 12,000. I listened to Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics this morning. I did obviously listen to JD from Off the Script, JD from New York, and Jesse last night. I haven't listened to Don Tony yet, although I heard him early Saturday morning. So we're going to see what everyone has to say coming out, whether it be a Matt Men podcast or Fightful or Meltzer or The Observer, because everybody has to be tuned in and listen to other people to get their bits and points. Even guys like Salamonster, Joe Cronin, so on and so forth. Everybody and their brother and their mother, and of course, my channel suggests you go to Dutch Mantel or Jim Cornette. I don't know what that says. I'd rather listen to Off the Script or Don Tony. I'm just telling you the truth, man. Now that Don's brought KC, Kevin Castle back, and I still listen to the boys over down at the Soup, Mitch and the boys. Listen. I spread myself around, and then of course I had the dedication to my own channel, but. I'm going to get off onto another 10-minute monologue and we'll be here for an hour. This is what happens when you do the impromptu and you're in a good mood. Hey, listen, I didn't have any Red Bull and no coffee. It's strictly, and again, through the special straw, because you never know what's going to happen in this day and age. I got the special straw, the Agua Vase. It's always nice to stay hydrated. It really is. You got to stay hydrated. I got to exercise more. I got to hydrate myself more. All right, guys. So that's why I came out a little bit later today on Memorial Day after everybody's recovering from a long night last night. Actually, a long weekend. Because even before that, Impact was on as well. People have been talking about Impact. But here we go. And this will be in order, as I usually say. Oh, this is never in order. There's no particular order. This is in order. The notes that I took last night that I bring to you fans here. And we're going to try to get through quick as possible. And I don't know how much you consumed last night. If you watched the media scrum, a lot of people watched near the end because they thought Punk was going to come in as opposed to, as a little spoiler here, it was Takashita, a.k.a. Takashita, konnichiwa, bitches, that came in and joined the BCC. But you know that already. Everyone thought it was going to be Punk. I'm going to spoil it right here. CM Punk did not come back last night at Double or Nothing. So we'll see what happens moving forward. At ringside, it was nice to see Taz and Excalibur, good old JR, and then, of course, Tony Schiavone came in later on. You can't go wrong with those three guys, but Excalibur, between the mask and the braids and whatever else it is he has going on back in the back of his head. I'm no one to talk about appearance or judge people, but it's gotten old when you're sitting next to the legends like that, Excalibur. Really? Is this how you're going out, kid? Get rid of the gimmick in certain instances. Know when and where to wear it on Collision or something, or on Rampage or something. Really, on the big pay-per-views, you look like an amateur, bro. No disrespect, you're good, and when you're in the ring, you were okay too, I guess. I don't know. I'm giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Whether you like it or don't like it, turn the channel, inbox me. It's okay, man. It's a work. Anyway, the buy-in show, Matt and Jeff Hardy with the FTW champion, fuck the world, I guess, whatever that means, I don't know, and Hook, who's a good-looking kid in great shape. But the Hardy Boys take on Austin and Colton Gunn, the Gun Club, if you will, and all ego Ethan Page. Now, you know the backstory about the contract, and if he loses, the contract goes over to Matt Hardy. If he wins, then he's out of the contract, and that whole storyline when they had it back at the Hardy compound, and delete. This isn't the mid-2000s or later 2000s when you were doing it in TNA. I mean, it was okay back then, but come on. I digged it. I'm not going to say I didn't at the time, but we need to move on from that and make pro wrestling what pro wrestling is. Either way, Matt pins Page. Matt. Hook. You know what Bully Ray says to me. Do I have to say it now? Or should I just skip right by it? Think about it. Wait for a second. Do I say the Bully Ray insults that are legendary that I say here on every show? Or do we skip by it? Because I did fumble right there. There was an AEW botch. There were a few of them last night on Double or Nothing. Think about it for a second. All right, we'll skip the botch. We'll refer to Bully Ray and as far as giving me 5 spots, fucking up 4 of them. Well, there's most of it anyway. Hook submits all ego Ethan Page, which means, to my point previous to this, now Matt Hardy gets Page's contract. Who knows where we go from here, whether he'll be cleaning out the latrine or putting up the ring or maybe diving down on the compound. I don't know where. I kind of wish they would get rid of this storyline. The Guns were doing good as the tag team champions, and when they were mixed up with the Acclaimed, all ego Ethan Page, this is what we've come down to. I get it with the Hardys, and Jeff Hardy had quite the botch in the match. I hope he's okay. Little rusty, I get it. I'm just saying, Yeah, Hook, you got to do more with Hook. Yeah, you're pushing all these other guys. Shouldn't he be one of the pillars maybe in a little while? You got to do a little bit more. So he submits all ego Ethan Page, which he's done in the past. So where do we go here from here on the buy-in show? I'm going to use that phrase a lot. Where do we go from here now that all of the children are growing up? And how do we spend our time? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do anybody remember that song? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? I guess not. I'm here by myself. Well, I'm live to tape, so you're here with me. Wait. I'm live right now, and there's nobody here. But then when I tape it and I put it out there on social media on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel, there will be at least one person watching it. Even if it's me, somebody else is watching it, right? Oh, you can't make it. It's Memorial Day. There's cookouts. What do you want me to tell you? I'm getting hydrated first. Okay, so here we go. We said that Hook submits Page. What's going to happen from here in the whole 9 yards? The contract, the Hardy Boys, what you're going to do with them, where they are in their stage of their career, and let's hope Jeff stays on the right path. And so that's what we have from there. Hook, can you get away from this, please? Taz, get down there and get the kid. Get him into a different storyline. From there, we go into something that I find very interesting, and I'm glad they're memorializing it and moving on with it. We did it at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling ourselves for years with the Michael J. D'Angelo Memorial Foundation, a.k.a. Dieselmania, so I can understand this. Next is Renee Paquette is out there on the stage, not in the ring, but just on the stage in general, and out comes Dr. Martha Hart with Renee Paquette, and for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, the announcement of that, where it's going to be, the different qualifying matches, the different cities. It will end up in Winnipeg. It will end up in Calgary. It really is. This is, I believe, is the second year of the tournament, maybe the third. I usually have my due diligence, but this was spur of the moment. I had this from last night, but it was just too late, and then I had to moderate. I mean, no excuses, man. You got to work it. So Martha Hart looked tremendous. She looked like she might have had a few cocktails in her. She was into it, having a good time. And TK2 came out in his fedora, and he looked like he was a general in the different poses, and on one foot, and it really was a sight to behold. Go back and see that, but it's a great concept. It's a great idea. Renee Moxley Good, Renee Paquette, if you will, Dr. Martha Hart, and TK for the Owen Hart Memorial Foundation. And you remember the matches from the past, so it'll be good to see everyone involved. Everybody's got to have a tournament. There's always got to be a tournament, but at least this one is for a good cause. You would agree with that. I will agree with that. So that was next there to open up basically Double or Nothing, the buy-in show. We went right into the very first match. You want to say it started off, the introductions were very long and lengthy for the 21 men, but it was for the Blackjack Battle Royal, for the Atlantic International No Me Joda Maricon Muévete Culo Mendejo championship from across the globe. And no offense, man, it's a work, baby. The 21-man championship, including the All-Atlantic champion now, a freshly squeezed, baby, Orange Cassidy. He's one heck of a worker. I catch a lot of heat on that. He's a heck of a worker, but the gimmick's the shits. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That's just my opinion. Okay, so this way, I guess you could potentially, if I'm not mistaken with the rules, you could lose the title. I mean, you got to go over the top rope, I guess was the premise. They read through the rules. They make it more confusing. As confused as a baby at Hooters. I mean, I get it, but they run this show like they're as busy as a blow-up doll at a frat party, and that's half the problem, half the battle with the pacing of the show. And that was the same thing last night. It's even worse over when TK does Ring of Honor, when he's got 20 matches. What are we doing here, man? Anyway, that's another story for another time. I've been ranting way too much lately. In the Battle Royal, I said this before, not only the champ, Cassidy, which if you look at certain introductions before you were going to buy the pay-per-view, which was well worth the money. I'm not complaining. It was worth the money, worth the price of admission. You got your entertainment. You got what you wanted. So I'll agree with that. I was entertained. On a scale from 0 to 10, I'll give it a 6, perhaps a 7. I mean, the last 2 or 3 matches really saved the show. 2, 3, 4 matches in, the crowd was just terrible out there in Sin City. I mean, I had better success with the AWA Superstars in the World Wrestling Zone with Stephen Larry Gligorific and the Twin Turbos and Dale Gagne and Justin Price, a.k.a. Roberts. I mean, we got more ass than a toilet seat back then. And really? I'm just saying. So Keith Lee, Big Keith Lee was in the Battle Royal. Bandito, the Best Friends, Dustin Rhodes, Swerve Strickland, the Butcher and the Blade, Big Bill, who really is a big bastard, Kip Sabian, the Lucha Brothers, Ricky Starks. The list goes on because there was 21 men. Those are the people that stand out to me. So, needless to say, whenever it's a battle royal of any kind, whether it's 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 50 people, two-man battle, intergender, it doesn't matter, women, men, it's pure chaos, and that's pun intended. We get down to the final 4. That's a quick battle royal, as most of them are. It's Big Bill, Orange Cassidy, Swerve Strickland, and Cero Miedo, Penta El or El Pluro, or El Zero, or whatever you want to call him, from the Lucha Brothers, but he's certainly one heck of a luchador. So that's the final 4 here. And now remember, there was a lot of chaos, a lot of people over the top rope that you wouldn't expect. The Battle Royal wasn't bad for Battle Royals as far as you just throw this guy out, that guy out. There were guys that went after each other, and grapplers and workers and talent that went after each other, and superstars that had storylines leading up into this. So that made it a little more interesting when you saw people go after who they've been working with on the limited writing and programs, from Dynamite to Rampage and then hopefully into Collision. That's just my opinion and the things that I pick up on in my over 50 years in the business. And we already know that. A fan, a historian, a researcher, a scout, a smark, a mark. That's right, I said a mark. In my over 3 decades as a pro wrestling manager, with every superstar that you can think of and the people that I've been involved with, including now at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling. Raw dog. What you see is what you get. School is in session. Sit back and listen to someone who's taken the bumps, who's been in the other side of the locker room, who's been on the other side of the ropes. A lot of you can't say it, and no disrespect, man. I'm just calling it like I see it. You want to hear it from people who lived it, who walked it, who did it. I'm just saying. I say that a lot, don't I? And listen, wait till I get my coffee. I'm dying for a cup of coffee. So we're down to the final 4. I said Big Bill, OC, Swerve, and Penta. Then we get down to, in the different ways they were thrown out. You got to go back and watch this on the replay if you get a chance. I think it was worth it. Not one of their better pay-per-views. I said 0 to 10. I said I'd give it a 6 or 7. The last 2 or 3 matches, there were some good spots. The crowd was terrible. A lot of different factors. 5th annual, a lot of different factors that went on in Double or Nothing for AEW. So, coming up, they have a Forbidden Door. Then they're going to have the Wembley show. Down the road, I think they have, what's that, Blood in the Cage or whatever they want to call it, that they usually have in New Jersey. They have the show at Arthur Ashe Stadium. TK's got a lot on his plate. He better get some help. Plus, with the Ring of Honor, there's a lot going on. And steady as she blows, full speed ahead over there at the WWE ship with Triple H, Bruce, Vince, whoever it is. It's kind of like the Love Boat. The Love Boat soon will be making another run. The Love Boat, something for everyone. Set your mind on adventure, your heart on a new romance. It's love, exciting and new. Come aboard, we're expecting you. It's love. No? Well, I'm just saying, the waves and boats and love. I got carried away. Oh, well, I'll tell you, see, Max Caster, you have nothing on me. And if we get to in here, and sometime I might even lay a rap on you fans here at 20 minutes in on Chaos Corner on Memorial Day. So as we said, that the final Cassidy and Swerve, it was Big Bill, OC, Swerve, and Penta, well worth the price of admission alone. Okay, this is no Jericho cruise. This is the Chaos cruise. We get down to Cassidy and Swerve. And of course, you know, TK's boy, he starts the program off every week. I don't want to be on a downer here after we're just on the Love Boat with Captain Stubing and Isaac and Gopher and Doc and everybody else and Julia McCoy. We were just on the Love Boat, and what happened here? Orange Cassidy wins the Battle Royal over 20 other men. That was what's predicted. If you go back on the prediction show, I think I got 90% of them right. I might have missed one, perhaps two. I thank God I'm not with Sports Tool or Fan Booker trying to get you to bet on kayfabe wrestling. What are we doing here, man? But that's another story for another time. TK's boy, it's obvious he dressed up as his Halloween. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying it like it is. I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what I do here. But this is what happened on this show. And for the Battle Royal, a Double or Nothing. So down to Cassidy and Swerve. It was a decent ending. Again, the storyline was okay. I said it for the Battle Royal, but you knew the ending. So that ruins a lot of things when it's supposed to be emotional investment, ring psychology, storytelling. It had some of that. Orange Cassidy, he may be your world heavyweight champion. He should have been one of the pillars, man. We go on to Chris Jericho, the Wizard, Y2J, the Ocho, the Lionheart, Pegasus. I don't know who that was. Maybe it was Benoit. Whatever you want to call him. Against Adam Cole, baby. Boom! I went to the wrong side of the camera. This Cole hasn't been back in a while. We know he was an excellent wrestler in WWE and NXT. They've always had the knock on his size, and he's still, when you saw his ribs and when you saw his underwear hanging out of his tights and stuff like that, very, very thin. And I hope he puts his meat on his bones. Jericho, a big, beefier guy, been around for a long time. But Jericho, and I'll give you credit for putting people over because you're a true carpenter and a legend and a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I give you credit for that. You've been around. You carried this company, especially at the beginning. And you know, there'll always be a place for Jericho until you can't do it anymore. But in Cole's corner is Roddy Strong and obviously the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal, whatever you want to call him, from ECW and everywhere in between. Sabu, who I had the pleasure to be in a corner with at least once or twice and been on several different events. Old man looked great. Sabu, got to give him, did more for anybody in this business, breaking his body and spreading his blood in the tradition of the Sheik. But he was right on the top rope, a little slippery, went through a table, a little botch maybe, but it's been a long time. And give him credit, he still did it. It's still a legend, no matter what you want to say. And people will talk about them boys, the Briscoes, and different companies, and standards and practices, and everybody's woke, and who says this and who says that. But you brought Sabu in, but you held it against Jay. God rest his soul. And the Briscoes now. I'm just telling you different things that stick out in my mind that I pick up on as a broadcast journalist. Things that I see. And this is why you want to talk to somebody, listen to somebody, come to someone who's going to tell you the truth from the heart with a face to the product. You come here. So that's where we went with Jericho. And listen, he was with Jake Hager, Daddy Magic, Danny Garcia, who's the other guy? A Cool Hand. The whole JAS. Basically, this was a brawl, a slap down, slobber knocker, sorry, Jim Ross, whatever you want to call it, a Pier 6 brawl. This was not for the faint of heart. This whole show was violence from head to toe. Not scripted. You lay it in there. Snug, strong style. That's what it's all about. And I'll give AEW credit for that. For as much as there's botches and misses, when you're laying in there and you get the right workers, it works. And I know I said works and works at the same time, but that's neither here nor there. It's not a linguistic class, although I am very linguistic in general. So again, The crowd in this match really stood out a little bit beforehand, but this and a couple of bouts afterwards, I blame it on the crowd. There usually should be 20,000 there, 18,000, 11, 12,000, whatever it was. I'm not there to say anything about anyone that was at the show or any company. I don't give a fuck if I did. And I'm not here to cuss either. I apologize for that. But they were very, very quiet with guys that are stars. And the bottom line is here, the referee, with Sabu as the enforcer, wasn't around much after the table spot. This bout was won by Bay, a 150-pound guy. Nothing against him. Respect anyone in the ring. As he basically tapped out into unconsciousness, submission. Didn't even get a chance to respond by stoppage. Adam Cole over the Wizard. So a little befuddled by that. I'm not sure. I believe I might have called this as far as my prediction, but I'm not crazy the way it went. I'll give Jericho credit for being humble. It shows me something about you personally. Where are you going to go with Adam Cole from here? Anything that Y2J touches really doesn't always turn out the greatest, but give him credit for who he is. A little concerned about that. That was the third or fourth bout in at Double or Nothing last night in Las Vegas. So next we go to a match that was really all over the place, and I will say the pun intended of chaos ensued. It certainly was a wild bout. You had everything from chants of fuck you, Karen, and no, you weren't at your local Walmart or McDonald's. You were at a pro wrestling match, and I hate to use that language because I don't use it often to get over. I don't need to. I'm just telling you what comes out, to chants of everything you can imagine, to people including Aubrey getting hit in the head with a guitar. This isn't Elvis Presley. My blue suede shoes. I'm not trying to give you a concert either, but we had everything from guitar shots to fuck you Karen shouts in this match as the FTR defended their AEW World Tag Team Championships. And you know I love the entrance music from FTR because I was a big Jim Cornette and Midnight Express fan back in the day, and had a chance to be in your company a couple of times, more than once, Corny. We had some nice conversations. Got to pick your brain. Introducing beautiful Bobby Eaton, Sweet Stan Lane, the Midnight Express. Well, he was a little more high-pitched because I think somebody was grabbing him by the balls at the same time. No offense, Corny. So let's get on to what I was talking about. FTR, the tag team champions against Jeff Jarrett. They want to call him the last outlaw. I call you slapnuts with your wife, Karen Angle, Jarrett, whatever her name is. And of course, my longtime friend, one incredible talent, a Hall of Famer right now if he wanted to be. Black Machismo, snap into a Slim Jim. Jay Lethal for the tag team titles. And of course, Zippy the Pinhead and Sanjay the Dutt is around. The Sanjay Dutt, the Satnam Singh, El Gigante, they're around at ringside. So it's like 8-on-1, 8-on-2, or 3-on-7. I mean, what's really going on in these tag team matches? And why so deserving? Are we in TNA in 07, 08? Especially with Karen Angle again. She got over more than anybody on the show in this match. But you know, the special guest referee, and I mentioned it earlier with Sabu and some of the things they say on social media, this whole woke agenda. That boy, Mark Briscoe, as the special guest referee. You know, the heat's been going on between FTR and the Briscoes and everything here from Jarrett and Lethal. So this was truly a decent bout and a wild bout with some unbelievable professionals. Everyone in here is top-notch wrestler in this industry and in this business, and you can't take that away from them, no matter what you would think about the guitar shots or the extra people hanging around or the idiot gimmicks they could be involved in. And that's just a personal opinion. There's no right or wrong answer here, geeks. dweeks, nerves, with the brain of a dehydrated baby. Not my audience. I'm just saying, those you lurkers out there who refuse to come into the room. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sit back and enjoy the sounds. So the bottom line is, FTR retains the tag team titles. And again, as I said, in a wild bout, Dax pinned Jeff Jarrett. And again, I said it whether it was about Chris Jericho or other veterans or what we do down at PAPW, it's nice to see the veterans once in a while when you think they're self-serving and narcissistic, that giving back, as Dax was able to pin Double J, slap nuts himself. Jeff Jarrett and FTR held on to the tag team titles. Let's hope moving forward that we can get away from this storyline and this gimmick. TK, you got to help us out, man. You got a lot on the horizon. I don't know what you're going to do. We're going to have to see a conjecture we go through. I talked to a lot of people in the IWC, JD, Don Tony, Jesse, the Wrestling Council. There's a lot of people I talk out there in the IWC about. We go back and forth. And yeah, I'll listen to some of the clowns and don't always agree with them, but they're right. Dutch Mantel, Jim Cornette, listen to these people that are out there, not necessarily Meltzer, Observer, Alvarez, Sapp. I'm just saying they're smart for what they do. Get your own independent, critical thinking going on. Wrap it all together. You could use some of their knowledge or phrases, or it's a different way than you saw it. You could agree to disagree, but don't be a skid. So let's move on and move out here. FTR retaining the AEW Tag Team Championships. We move on because this was a long show. We're 30 minutes in here. The TNT title. Wardlow and Christian Cage with Luchasaurus in his corner in a ladder match. And I've said it before, the ladder match. Who is the king of ladder matches? It would be one Christian Cage. Many of them in the past, tag team matches, many different ladder matches. And Wardlow, how many ladder matches has he been in? Maybe 1, 0? I don't know. You tell me. For the TNT title, now Wardlow with the big power bombs on Christian Cage. And of course the vignette, and as they entered the ring, the crowd sucked. Let me just tell you something. This couldn't have been at a moment of 2 stars like this in a match that if you really knew about the business, were sitting on their thumbs. I'm looking at the crowd. They got their hands in their asses. What are you doing? Why did you go? You should have stayed home if you had no interest in a live event. So I'm very disappointed by that. But again, the one thing that stuck out earlier is the power bombs. We know how devastating they are to be able to hit on turtleneck, if you will. A turtleneck, that's the best you came up with, and the Las Vegas crowd was calling them turtleneck or turtle dick or whatever you called them. They're real original. Bunch of neckbeards. No offense to anyone out there. It's a work. So Wardlow with the press, when a la the Tony Atlas days and the Ultimate Warrior days and other grapplers like Road Warrior Animal or Hawk that used to sit you and press you in the air. That's the most impressive thing in the world. Or Dr. Death Steve Williams. So for someone like Wardlow to press Christian 2 or 3 times and to spin him around, that shows you strength, and that shows you why, in my opinion, I think they've dropped the ball at AEW long before this. Let's hope you get it back. You dropped it with MJF. That's just my opinion. Listen, I'm out here on the beach. We have the doors open here to the bunker. So I can hear this. You got to listen up, man. And that's how I think about Wardlow. And the Swanton. Why this? Thank God I'm right here. What a view. Thank God I had to sit there and almost in daze and amazement as I was drinking the espresso. I had a glass of vino first. To see Wardlow, who's every bit of 6'3", about 270 pounds, climb the oversized ladder like King Kong climbing the Empire Statement. But there was no Rachel Faye or Faye Rachel or whoever was up there at King Kong. Why? Why are we doing this? At the top of the ladder, you're not Jeff Hardy, and he's dumb for doing it himself. Or Sammy Guevara or anybody else. And then he does the swanton off that ladder, some 20 feet, 25 feet below, onto another monster, a Luchasaurus, through the hardwood table onto the floor. Not this time in AEW were there any soft landings set up underneath. Why are you taking your franchise player and another guy who just came back from injury and putting him and risking him in this spot? Whether they want to do it or not, why are you allowing it? That's not pro wrestling. It looked great. I have the photos. I have the video. I went back and watched it. No one will remember it in a couple of weeks. But if you were paralyzed or something happened to you then, you'd remember it. How's it going to be in 20 years? Are you going to support him? Beautiful, exquisite. I loved it. But at what expense do we need our entertainment? That's just the truth. So needless to say, this match went on to be unbelievable after that swanton. He went to jump from the rope, Wardlow that is, into the ladder. The ladder cracked at the leg of it. And again, we have the refs trying to hold up the ladder. He was smart enough to push him away, like the repeat when Powerhouse Hobbs had to hold the ladders and everyone. They try not to show it on AEW TV. Again, listen to what I just said. Rewind what I just said 30 seconds ago. Why? What are we doing here in pro wrestling in 2023? Then we have Arn in the corner getting attacked by a Luchasaurus, and he bites him into a bloody mess. This was risky. It was brutal, as I said about the ladder matches. And Arn, you could see he was struggling to move around, but give him credit. He was in there, that tough AA enforcer son of a bitch, and apparently bit the tip of the thumb off of Luchasaurus and had blood all over his mouth and his lips and down his beard and on his face, as Luchasaurus looked like he got tipped by a saw chipper or something like that, a wood chipper. You knew what I was talking about. And boy, did I tell you, to get Arn involved, a little surprise. Must be feeling spry. God bless you, Arn Anderson. I love you, brother. So to have that in there was again unbelievable. The bottom line is the first man up the ladder, especially after the bite of Luchasaurus, who was no longer there to interfere. Christian was in the corner. I believe he was trying to get in the ring. Luchasaurus made his way up a new ladder and grabbed the TNT title. I'm sorry. I don't think I said Luchasaurus, but Wardlow. Wardlow retains the TNT title. I might as well say it now. Wardlow retains in this TNT title. But like Bully Ray from Busted Open Radio, two-time Hall of Famer, perhaps the greatest tag team wrestler of all time, said to me, at least on a couple of occasions back in 06 and 07 while we were going for the NWA World Tag Team titles with the Outcast Killers. He said that back in the locker room, Chaos, come here. Give the Guardian of Chaos 5 spots, he'll fuck up 4 of them. I consider that to be a compliment. Thanks, Bully Ray. See you down the road, brother. We go on to, as I just said, Wardlow retains the title. Again, it's been a crazy night thus far. We're only 5 or 6 bouts in here at Chaos Corner. Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm for the AEW Ladies Heavyweight title. Now, it was rumored Jamie Hayter was hurt, had an injured left shoulder. It was true. It came out. It was apparent that she was injured. It was a very short bout. She was attacked at the entranceway in the beginning, on her way in, before the match even started. That's the way of writing it in, because you knew Hayter was injured. So Ruby Soho, and a.k.a. Saraya Page, Saraya Page, attacked Jamie Hayter before she could get in. DMD was nowhere to be found. She was too busy at one point, I guess, helping out Adam Cole, baby, her man. Hayter was left out to dry. Toni Storm is your new champ in a short bout, but a powerful, meaning bout for the AEW. Who knows when Hayter's going to be back? We don't know how long she's going to be injured for. She is the future of the women's division AEW, but this is good for Toni Storm, who kind of got screwed over in the whole interim and temporary champ, and hopefully Rosa will come back soon, Thunder Rosa or something. But this is a good divide, and this is a good champion to carry on right now for the women's division in AEW. Where does it leave Soraya Page and Ruby Ho Ho? I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think you do. So there was good news out of that. Let's hope Jamie recovers soon. In the trios title, the HOB, the House of Black, Buddy Matthews, Malachi Black, and of course the big man Brody King, along with Julia Hart with that Stevie Nicks look and the dust and the look of an old arena and the smoke. You gotta give it to House of Black. Kind of Wyatt-esque back in the day is similar, but I like the entrance. Who was going to be their mystery opponent? Hey, listen, let's cut them through the BS. We called it. We knew it was on social media. You know, you're wondering where they were. It was Max Caster, Daddy Ass, Anthony Bowens, Anthony Owens, Billy Gunn, Bart Gunn, Max Caster, the Caster Rap. Hey, the former tag team champions, more over at one point in this company than anybody in the history of AEW. So you knew they were coming out for the World Trios Championship, and that means Billy Gunn is involved. And at his age, he's almost my age. True kudos to the big boy Billy Gunn. Scissor me, daddy ass. Well, I don't think so. Maybe Anthony Bones and Max Caster can scissor each other. Still green, but guys that have come far and guys that are good people in life. You got to give the Acclaimed credit. They've come a long way, and they truly are over. They don't deserve it. They've earned it. I don't have to be their biggest fan, but I respect what they do in the ring. I said a M-A-S, a T-E-R, a G with a double E. I said I go by the unforgettable name of the man. They call it Master G. Well, my name is known all over the world. All the foxy ladies and pretty girls are going down in history as the baddest brother there ever could be. Now you're feeling the highs and you're feeling the lows. And let's switch beats and go to another hole. Have you ever went over a friend's house to eat and the food just ain't no good? I mean, the macaroni soggy, the meats are moist, and the chicken tastes like wood. So you say, that's it, I gotta leave this place. I don't care what these people think, because I'm sitting here making myself nauseous with this ugly food that stinks. Said hanging around, all in void, hanging out like your pretty boy Floyd Turnstick-up kid. But look what you did. Got sent up for a 7-year bid. Now your manhood is taking your mate tag, spending your few years as an undercover. You get it, being used and abused. Till one day, yeah, don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. Let's get back to AEW Double or Nothing. It's not just you, Caster. Your man got the creds. 25 years behind the walls. Remember that. Treat people how you want to be treated. That's how we do things. Not by where you come from, your culture, your skin color, none of that. By the content of your character. And that's the reality on this show. So we go on to the Trios title. We knew it was going to be the Acclaimed. Again, the Max Caster rap. No disrespect. All kidding aside. Okay, let's bring out a little, get out of kayfabe and come to shoot. That was a heck of a rap by Caster. And the whole Buddy Dominic Mysterio reference and a cuck and a couple other things that he referenced politically into the cities. Give Caster credit because he's a different kind of cheaper version of AEW, but it's hitting his spot and his niche. So give him credit for that. So good job, Caster. And I said that with a little hop and vibe. You felt that, right? And wait, I haven't had any coffee yet. Well, I don't even know what time it is, man. The camera's juggling and moving here. I don't know what's going on, man. I know I'm having a good time at 45 minutes in, covering Double or Nothing live to tape from Chaos Corner. Wait. You guys get it. Here we go. Hater and Storm, we already covered that. Trios title, HOB and the Acclaimed. And again, retaining the Trios title is the House of Black. You knew that was going to happen. You couldn't come back and have the Acclaimed with the pop or not. You screwed it up once before when they were the tag team champions, or at least should have been. And now the Trios Championships, you can't hot potato it, hot shot it, whatever you want to call it, whatever they say in this day and age, you can't do it that quickly with the Trios title. So the HOB retains. the Trios Championship over the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. Well, we'll see where it goes from here because the Tag Team Championship might be coming to a little bit better of a focus and view. The six-man tag is all over the place, and with Ring of Honor and now with Collision and Dynamite and what's going to happen with Rampage. They got a lot going on when it comes to this and what TK is going to do. And I hope he has some help with some people back there that are going to be able to talk to him honestly. I'm not saying the EVPs or anyone like that. And again, I can't appreciate you guys enough for being here for this Double or Nothing coverage. We go on to another bout after the World Trios Championship, the World Six-Man Tag Match. Let's call it, but they want to be Lucha style. The visual, again, I can't get enough of the visual of House of Black and along with Julia Hart. Again, is there a better entrance right now in the world of pro wrestling along with maybe this the Bloodline in the WWE? You tell me, leave a comment, get us in the algorithm, say something. This is Chaos Corner. This is the channels. This is the time you guys have a chance when live to get in here and say something to me. So those are the bouts that we've covered here. Again, folks, this was a 5-hour show. I'm going to cover it here in an hour or less. Next, we have the TBS title with Jade, who is 59-0 against Taya Valkyrie. Perhaps one of the best in the business, but seems to have lost a little bit lately. Other people have noticed it and brought it to my attention. I've turned it out. I'm a huge fan of hers, and I feel like I'm not sure what it is, whether she put on a few pounds or whatever it is. Jade is an incredible athlete, going for the 60-0. Everyone says this is going to be Taya. It's going to be Taya. I've been saying this for months. Who's it going to be? Who would it be? A lot of people are saying it's Taya Valkyrie here at Double or Nothing from last night. Here on Memorial Day 2023, this year is flying by. Let's have a great summer. Let's be prepared. My mind is like a lazy Susan. Eventually it'll come back around, fans. You know that, right? That's why you're here at Chaos Corner. Feeling tropical. That's for dang sure. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I'm getting so hot, I gotta take my clothes off. Entertainment value. That's what you get here. All right. Jade and Taya. Both ladies go for their finishers very quick in this match. Jade hits her finisher. Okay? It really was crazy. This match, I don't know how long it was called for or written for. They went back very, very little. A few false finishers, but the bottom line is here because there's a bigger story after it. Taya Valkyrie is the one who gets kicked to the curb here and loses out like she has when she was Frankie Monet and NXT and long before that, and since she's come into AEW and before in AAA and Lucha Underground seems to where she only gets the respect. And I'm not sure why that's happening with Taya. So Jade hits her finisher. After Taya hit her finisher, Jade couldn't finish. This match isn't as sloppy as you thought it was. Again, but Jade needs work. We know that. She has the star power. Taya's a legend. But for whatever happened here, Jade hits the finisher and pins Taya. Out of nowhere. That's it. It's over. This bout was over. Jade retains the championship and is 60-0 as TBS champion. La vida loca, go on, no me jodas, me culo, muévete, boca culo, tú le grande. You get it, right? A little amped up here on Memorial Day. In honor of this country. Jade grabs the microphone with all her clowns, Mark Sterling there, got the brain of a dehydrated BB, that's for sure. Jade issues an open challenge to anyone. And out of nowhere, the music hits and most people don't know it. And it's Chris Statlander. That's right, they're a former boop your nose, the alien with probably the worst gimmick I could have imagined. But as she rebounded from injuries and poor writing in his back, it looks tremendous as ever. And that's right, my girl Stat. That's what I call it. Chris Statlander is back. It was rumored she's back. She looks healthy. She looks great. We can only hope for it and improves this division. She comes in and kicks Jade's ass. The bell hits. It's on. This is an official match. Impromptu, out of nowhere. Sterling and Jade accept it. Beautiful, beautiful. comes in. Statlander hits that suplex, that vertical suplex, which she can hold you there for anywhere from 20 seconds, I don't know, to 2 minutes and 20 seconds. What a vertical suplex into a standing inverted pile driver. All you geeks and dweebs and nerds are wondering, it was a tombstone pile driver. It was a fucking pile driver, a reverse pile driver. Hits it on Jade. Statlander covers into the pin, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. The reign is over, and you have a new TBS champion. That's right, Chris Statlander returns after all the controversy as your new TBS AEW Women's Champion. That part right there made the crowd pop. I was excited about that myself because it's nice to see an athlete, male or female, return from injury and make well when they were already at the top. It was already earned. So this is one of the few spots where you could say somebody deserves it, because usually you don't. You have to earn it before you deserve it. But this person earned it, and now they deserve it. Do you get what I'm saying? So that was a nice spot right there. And then we have the AEW as we move on here on Chaos Corner. We're having a great time on Memorial Day. Let me take a little break here on the throats. It really is kicked back and relaxed here in Chaos Corner. I'm starving. I can't wait for dinner. Can't wait for a cup of coffee. I'm not sure if it's live tonight or not. I'll catch maybe the Fallout show from Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia by the WWE. So I'll catch some of that and see what's going on. We go into the AEW Heavyweight 4 Pillars match. The champion, the BBB, because he's better than you and you know it, and that's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, taking on Darby Allin, the Spanish God Sammy Guevara, and of course Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Between 3 out of the 4 weigh well under 400 pounds. I have a problem with that, but it is what it is. I'll live with it. Big props, and I want to give big props and respect and admiration for Taz. That's right, the unbelievable announcer and former world champion FTW, my buddy, my brother Taz, on acknowledging and giving respect and a shout out to Mr. No Gimmicks Needed, and that would be one Chris Candido. Had an opportunity to work with Candido on several different events and in the ring a handful of times with and against. What a great athlete Chris Candido was. And if anyone would know that, it would be Taz. So Taz, thanks for doing that. I appreciate that. That's respect and honor for a brother. You're a true man, Taz, a true badass. And that's nice to recognize your brother and one true legend himself and Mr. Chris Candido. So we go on to the heavyweight championship match for AEW. Again, MJF, Jungle Boy, Allin, and Guevara. And the announcement in the beginning of the match, because he brought back the signs. Tay Mello and Sammy Guevara, they announced via the sign right there in Las Vegas in front of everyone at Double or Nothing. They announced they're having a baby, and Tay is pregnant, and everyone's all happy. There was a nice pop, and from the bottom of my heart, and this is a shoot, God bless and good luck, and as long as the baby's healthy, to Sammy Guevara and Tay Mello, Sammy Tay Mello Guevara, and boy or girl, that comes from the heart, from the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, because I tell it like it is. And I'll say that to say this. Let's get back to the banger of a match that was the heavyweight championship, the 4-way pillar, the 4-way match, whatever you want to call it. I usually don't like these. I don't like it because you can lose the championship and you're not responsible for it. Someone can gain the championship and you've never beaten the champion, and I think it's a shit way to book it and run it. That's just my honest opinion coming from my years of knowledge and what I like to see. I get it. It's 2023. It's your program. You run it how you want. I could change the channel. I can appreciate it, but I don't like it. I can give my opinion. This is my right, and I will stand by my rights. MJ, again, what an unbelievable bout. A banger, perhaps the best of the year. I already said it. All 4 got their big moves in. Guevara, Allin, Jungle Boy, MJF, they all got their finishers and their big moves and their signature maneuvers. And again, usually it went in sequence, especially 2/3 of the way through the bout. And this seemed to save the show. These last couple of bouts, and I'm going to say that to say this, with Statlander showing up in that ladies bout, and then this heavyweight championship with the four pillars, and the crowd finally seems to really getting into it, and we'll see that as we go into the second co-main event, because this was announced as a co-main event. And again, those finishing maneuvers by the four pillars. And again, only one's really a pillar. I respect the other three, and they have big things going on in their life, but only one's a pillar to me, and that's MJF. And again, they hit those finishers in sequence, and it's nice to see that. That's what brings the crowd. That's what everybody loves, right? As we sit here, we're trying to adjust the cameras, and it keeps moving back and forth. I don't want to be too close. They say it put 5 pounds on you. It might have put 25 on me. The thing that amazed me here was the ending of it. Jungle Boy refused to take the belt and play dirty and wanted to win it the right way and use the belt against MJF or against another one of the pillars to knock him in the head and to win the title, because the referee had bumped and was somewhere. Who was saying that to him? Was it Sammy or was it Darby? Was it MJF himself? I have to look at the tape because I was focusing on what the story they're doing with Jungle and trying to be the better man and the better guy. Well, win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. Didn't Eddie Guerrero say that? This is for the heavyweight championship of the world in AEW on pay-per-view. Let that sink in. Can somebody say something to me? Somebody? So again, Jack Perry refused it. Again, why would you do something like that? Take advantage of it. If I was there to manage, if I was still in this business, work, kayfabe or not, you teach to win the championship, you make more money, more appearances, more people want to see you, more asses and seats, more money from the promoter. What are we missing here in this generation? I know it's in the story. I don't want to say in the script. I don't like that because it's not supposed to be scripted. So Darby Allin now goes up to the top rope after Jungle Boy refuses to hit MJF with the title. He's going up there because he's hitting the coffin drop, one of the best moves I've seen in quite some time, and it really works. Not too many people get up with it. You're also unbelievable what you do to the lower part of your neck and the vertebrae, and someday it'll be fused together, Darby. He does the MJF out of nowhere, grabs the belt that Jungle Boy had left there because he refused to use it in the championship match to make more money for his family. Grabs the belt last minute, throws it on a prone Jack Perry in the middle of the ring. Darby Allin does the coffin drop, bang, hits it unbelievable. Okay, it hurts Darby because he hit the belt, so his back is unbelievably mashed, and the vertebrae, the lower lumbar, third vertebrae region of the lower lumbar has got to be rattled all the way up to the back of the neck on that one with the metal belt, the BBB, if you will. Jack Perry took the full opposite side of that gold belt into his abdomen, into his rib cage, into his diaphragm. How do you breathe from that? How do you recover possible broken ribs? Rolls him out of the way. MJF jumps on the top of Darby Allin. 1, 2, 3, and the BBB. MJF, better than you. We'll say it. The champ retains the title in the 4-way pillars match. What a way to finish it. What a way to end it. It really was unbelievable. Because remember, before MJF got the pin, he grabbed Darby Allin over with the side headlock. The pin, the hooking of the leg, a la pro wrestling, like it's supposed to be, tradition and honor, and how Darby did it to MJF the last time around. MJF did that after the coffin drop. Got on him with the belt, picked him up, bang, over with the side headlock takeover and a pin, 1, 2, 3 for the champ, who retains it. Now let's listen. We still have something to cover here. We're at an hour. The bottom line is MJF isn't losing his title anytime soon. Who's out there to beat him? Even if Punk comes back at Wembley, you could have a trilogy, whatever it is you want to do, whatever they've worked together before. Who's going to take the belt from MJF? And if TK lets it happen, you're blowing everything in AEW over there. Again, not as solid a pay-per-view as I thought it would be. MJF retains the title in the 4 pillars match. The other 3 pillars need to go grow somewhere else or plant somewhere else because it's not there with MJF, no matter what the finishing was. I like it, I have to say. And again, the crowd was into it. It saved the match. Here we go into the finale as we're over an hour. I didn't want to do this to you guys, but it's double or nothing. It's 5 hours crammed into one here on the channel. Anarchy in the arena. There's no rules. This is the co-main event for AEW Double or Nothing. You see that I watched the show last night, have the notes, and of course I went and moderated, and we wrap it all up today here on Memorial Day. Big salute to everyone out there. Anarchy at the arena. The Elite with Omega, Hangman, the Young Bucks against the BCC, and that's the place to be. Claudio Castagnoli, Yuta, Moxley, and Danielson. Basically a 4-on-4 that can go anywhere in the arena, no rules, and they start off in the crowd with the music blaring. It's crazy, it's insanity, it's chaos. All 8 men are in the crowd there in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. Old school style, like the Killers, the Gangsters, New Jack and Mustafa, and a lot of other people, even Moxley himself used to do it. The music's playing. After a while it gets old, you got to cut the music off as they're brawling through the concession stands, up through the gallery, into the VIP, into the bathrooms, outside, inside. You know what happens in ththese matches. This isn't the Tupelo, Mississippi brawl, man. This isn't, this is anarchy at the arena. Again, mayhem, chaos, the concessions. This went on for a while. Everyone at one point is busted open. It's all over the arena. They finally get it back into the ring with Twinkle Toes McFinger Band. McFinger Band, the Hardly Boys. I'm just going by what I've heard on Corny. It's all a joke, guys. Just calm down. They end up back in the ring, and Don Callis, the invisible hand, the one who took the friggin' screwdriver to Omega's head, he comes out, but this time there's a guy in a hood. And no, it's not because of COVID. No, he's not a member of Antifa or BLM or whatever it is that you want to call that's going around in this country. Everyone thinks it's CM Punk. Could it be CM Punk? What was the conjecture? Someone wearing blackface like the guy in the band? Everybody's all in a tether? Oh, what's going on? Is it racist? What's going on there at AEW? Konnichiwa, bitches. It's Takashita. Take a shit. That's right. Takashita. That's how you spell it. We're doing it phonetically. You guys get it here, right? Takashita shows up with Don Callis, and out of nowhere, okay, an explosion of super kicks, and I really mean the Young Bucks had some sort of firecracker or something in their front boots, and as they did the super kicks to Moxley, and it was a super kick party. It was unbelievable. You can't make it up, and it actually exploded. So they got something going on there, and Mox took a beating. People again, before the hood came up, you could see it in the crowd. They're standing. The crowd's finally alive. I saw a lot of people in the IWC, a lot of people on social media saying it's Punk, it's Punk, it's Punk. Some of the smart ones, some of the bright ones, Don Tony, JD, Jesse, so on and so forth. They had a good idea and knew that it was possibly, and if you read the writing on the wall, yours truly, Takashita, then he pummeled Omega. That's right, pummeled Omega into oblivion as, again, the Young Bucks were doing their thing outside the ring, trying to super kick Claudio Castagnoli and Moxley, and again, the sparklers or the crackers or whatever they had in their boots to make it be like electrified when it hit the face. I guess that's what they do in PGW or out there in Reseda or the Cucamonga land. I'm just saying, man. It looked okay. The bottom line is, as Takashita was pummeling Omega, Yuta comes up from behind and Yuta pins Omega. That's right, the BCC, as I always say, that's the place to be. The BCC, Yuta, Castagnoli, Danielson, who was a vicious thug criminal in this match, Moxley, Claudio. They go over on the Elite and the Hangman. Who saw that coming? I think I did because remember I did my first 5 at the BCC. It's the place to be. Double or Nothing, AEW and Chaos Corner. Does it get any better than that? That's what happened after that. And it ends with all 5 of the BCC, including Takeshita, Konichiwa, is in right now and throwing the invisible hand, Don Callis. It's Moxley, Claudio, Danielson, Yuta, Takeshita, and Callis all standing there over Kenny Omega. Where's the Young Bucks? Where are they? Where's the Pirates? Snake Plissken. Where's Snake Plissken? Cowboy shit. Hangman Page. That's how we go off the air at AEW Double or Nothing from Las Vegas. The 5th annual. So fans, I cover it all. I covered 5 hours, 4.5, 5 hours of the pay-per-view from the buy-in, all the results and the review, all the way to the double co-main event. Right here on Chaos Corner. On a Monday, on Memorial Day. Thanks for being here. I can't thank you fans enough. It was an honor to have you here. Hit the like, get us in the subscribe. You don't have to listen to the whole thing today. Come back, share it, do whatever it is that you want to do. This is factual. It's coming from me. You get my twist, my opinion. We're at 1 minute and 6 seconds, coming up on 1 minute and 7 seconds. Kick back and relax with the Guardian of Chaos. Because I'll say that to say this. Because I tell it like it is. But don't you dare miss it. Come on back. I got more content. We got pay-per-views coming up, reviews, history. Subscribe to the channel. Get us to that 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. Let's go live and have some fun. It's what I always do. In this day and age, it's what we need. Hold tight. I'm coming.